Greetings. I am Legacy Moon, and this is True Crime and Mysteries.
I would mess with my wife, Jordan. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. Well, you will see me on the news. Let me just tell you that right now. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. You better walk by and say, praise the Lord. That's what you better do. Because that's my wife. And she grown. She didn't need nobody to sign no paperwork for her. Now, if this was out in the streets, y'all be saying she made a come up. But you a hypocrite. So don't you forget the Bible say marriage is honorable. And the Bible said when you find the wife, honey, you find favor with God, honey. I found some favor with God. And we sleeping good at night. Ain't nobody up all night worrying about all these crooks. But I felt I need to say that because somebody talking about what they're going to do if they see you. I'm telling you now, don't let the devil fool you. Because I ain't the one to play with. I get on the other side here. Wish you would. Yeah, you mean the pastor? Yeah, me.
Welcome back, current subscribers, new subscribers, and those of you who are here for the very first time. Welcome. And if you visit my channel frequently, but you are not subscribed, you're still welcome too. And won't you join us? This video is going to be real brief. And what I'm going to be talking about is love and marriage. Now, at the very beginning of the video, you saw Bishop Dwight Reed, and he was speaking about his new marriage. Now, his new marriage is very controversial for the age difference between him and his bride. Now, I must say that in this video, I'm going to be quite opinionated, and I'm going to explain why, but I am also interested in other people's opinions. For those of you who are not familiar with Bishop Dwight Reed, as I can tell you, I wasn't either before this story. He is from Iowa. That's where his church is, and he is 65 years old. Now, sitting on his lap there is his 19-year-old wife, Jordan. I will also let you know that the clip that I played at the beginning is from 2 years ago, and it is a clip that has resurfaced. And it's pretty much him. Well, you heard it, and you heard what he had to say. If I have not already shocked you, and some of you may not be, but they have been married for 2 years. So that means when they got married, he was actually 63. So I'll have to assume that his wife was 17. Also, the age of consent where he lives is 16 years old, I believe. Now, just to give you a little bit of background on the bishop, he was previously a pastor in a Shreveport, Louisiana church. During the time he was there, he had been accused of having some unethical relationships with young girls. It is also said, allegedly, that Bishop Reed had inappropriate sexualized contact and communication with a child between the age of 12 and 15. Now, I said allegedly because, well, that's what you're supposed to say, I guess. And also, the claims were kind of unsubstantiated. According to information, in 2017, Bishop Reed took over as pastor of Christ Apostolic Temple and as dean of its school. The girls there would have been between the ages of 12 and 15. 12 and 16 years old at the time. It is believed through his role as pastor and school dean and counselor, he gained access to his wife Jordan and began grooming her to bring her under his control. Now, apparently, the organization Change.org from Safe House made these allegations along with another man by the name of Demetrius Single. And he is the CEO and senior pastor of the Kingdom Church and the Safe House. So I guess Bishop Reed thought that, this organization, along with Demetrius Single, they were making trouble for him, I guess you could say. And so he did what all Americans do. He filed a civil suit. Now, Bishop Reed and Jordan claimed that after their marriage in November 2021, Single and his organization began a smear campaign against them and their church. Before this video is over, I'm going to get poor Demetrius' name right. As a matter of fact, we're just going to call him Demetrius. But anyway, they also allege that Demetrius called the temple a cult and described Reed as a shepherd that has starved his flock to feed himself. So after Demetrius was served with this lawsuit, he released a detailed report featuring 13 witnesses who claimed that the bishop had an inappropriate relationship with Jordan prior to their marriage. In December 2022, the courts ruled in favor of the Reeds, and they transferred the defamation case from federal to state. So then I guess Demetrius decided that he was not going to take this lying down, and he filed a countersuit against the Reeds, alleging that the bishop committed tortious interference with prospective economic advantages and falsely accused Demetrius of being homosexual. Now, I know how civil suits can be, and I can imagine that this is something that is still pending because I didn't see anything that would show that a disposition has been made on the case or that they have both appeared in court again. So, I don't know, and I'll probably look out for that because I am a little interested in it. Now, although the bishop I'm not sure or too clear as to if he is actually pastoring in Iowa or if he's still pastoring in Louisiana. I'm not really sure, because that really wasn't made too clear either in the articles that I read. One thing that I would like to say before I go in deep with my opinion is that children today, they're just, it's like they're not safe anywhere. Sometimes they're not safe at home. Other times they're not safe with certain relatives. They're not safe at school. They're not safe walking to the corner store. I mean, children really, really, really need to be and deserve to be protected, especially from predators. Now we've come to the portion of the video where I give my opinion. And it is my opinion that this man is a predator. You can marry anybody that you want to marry, but I'm not sure, and I'm only going by what is being reported. I don't know how old this girl was. I know if she's 19 now, let's look at this, 19 now, and like I said, 2 years ago, she would have been 17. But if you go and factor, they've been married for 2 years. They had to, I'll say they got engaged and whatnot. So if you look at all that time, she could have at least been 14 or 15 when this started. And furthermore, allegations, and those are just allegations that I found, allegations have been made about this man before. So we don't know what has gone on in this man's life. I mean, my God, he's 65. Who knows how long he's been doing this? And his wife, though she may be 19, I can't say that she knows what she wants, especially if she's been dealing with him for the last few years, excuse me. I mean, I know females, we develop faster than males do, but, was she mature enough to make the decision that she was in love with this man? Does she know anything else? She may not have ever been, exposed or had the opportunity to go out on a date with a young man her age, when she was in high school or whatever. I don't know. I just, I find this to be very questionable. And I know, hey, sometimes you are going to marry someone who is, older than you. It can happen. But when you start getting into these kind of age differences, and just so that it won't seem as though I'm picking on males, I personally think Cher in her relationship, I think it's disgusting. I think it's predatory. I'm sorry. It just is. And that's my opinion. Now, I'm sure some of you may have a different opinion, and that's cool too. This should be something that we should all be able to talk about. And that's why I am curious as to what some of your opinions may be. One thing I am curious about is if he is any relation to, I think he's a bishop as well, but Jeremiah Reed. I'm wondering if because they do kind of favor. So I'm kind of curious about that. But anyhow, let me know what your opinion is, what you think. Had you heard this before? Did you hear it 2 years ago? How do you feel about him, pretty much saying he would just get all gangsta and pull out a pow-pow on somebody if they think they're going to mess with his wife? What do you think about that? And just being, if you are a part of the church, how do you feel about that? And how do you, I could go on forever, but Also, how do you feel about how inappropriate relationships, and what I mean by that is, men preying on little people as well as women who prey on little people? How do you feel about that in the church? Do you think it's being talked about enough in the church? And I'll take it a step further and say the black church, because that is a problem in the black church. It's not just the Catholic Church where this goes on. So I'm just curious of everybody's opinion and what you think about all this. And who knows, maybe I'll do a live and we can have a panel discussion on it, because it really and truly bothers me. I thank you for listening, and once again, I am Legacy Moon, and if you are not subscribed to me, you want to go up there and hit that subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell so you know when I drop my next video. Also, share the video. Let other people know that I exist. And as I always ask you, please, please, please make sure you thumbs up this video and get me in the algorithm nation.